If you really want to connect with somebody, learn their story. Hey, I'm Matt Peoples here with your Missionary Pathway Mission Insight. And this insight is really important because everybody has a story. And in our social media driven soundbite culture, it's easy to assume you already know somebody's story because you've seen a few posts on an Instagram feed. But the reality is this: everybody has a story. And the more time you take to get to know that story, the more you will get to know somebody. It's really important to get to know a story. And there's a few reasons why. The first is this: stories have a way of breaking down cultural barriers. You know, you may have somebody that's from a radically different culture than you are, but when you take time to sit down and really hear their story, you'll start to find connection points in their story and your story. Things that you can relate to or that can really connect with you, or at the very least, things that you can empathize with because you realize that they came from a very different place than you did. See, the reality is stories have a way of breaking down cultural barriers. And when they break down cultural barriers, stories help us connect. You know, it's funny, we have a way of connecting with stories deeply. This is why the movie industry is so big, because they know when they tell a story, they'll have a way to connect you to that story. I'll never forget my friend Matt Popovits. We were doing a preaching training and he was talking about Top Gun, the new Top Gun that just came out. He goes, "Why do you end up leaving that movie connecting so deeply with it? I mean, how many of you are actually Top Gun pilots who fly fighter jets? Like, the percentage is so small, it's not even funny." The reality is you connect with aspects of that character's story. And because you connect with their story and you link their story to your story, it creates a deeper connection because stories have an ability to help us connect. Finally, stories will help us empathize. You know, oftentimes we need to be able to empathize with people around us. And one of the reasons we struggle to empathize with people or see things from other people's point of view is because we haven't taken time to just hear their story, to understand where they come from and where their views might have come from. Because the reality is, in our soundbite culture, we assume we know too much about somebody's story. But if you take time to listen to somebody's story, you'll learn to empathize with them more. And of course, when you listen to somebody's story, it opens the door to share your story. Because the more you listen to somebody else's story, the more they'll want to get to know your story. And that opens doors to share Jesus' story, which is the biggest gift that anybody could receive. I hope this Mission Insight was helpful for you. If you found this helpful, take an opportunity to like and subscribe and share this with somebody else that needs to hear this insight. And then finally, if you'd like to learn more about how you can share your story or learn more about how you can listen to stories around you, check out missionarypathway.org. Missionarypathway.org is a simple training to teach you how to listen to the people around you in your community, share faith in the everyday spaces. So if you want to learn how to listen more to your community, check out missionarypathway.org. And until next week, it was a joy hanging out with you right here on Mission Insights.